everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin daily stream. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin daily stream. My name is Todd. That's Erin.
You're adorable.
Oh, my
No,
gosh.
we're just giddy
It's
with
Friday.
We're giddy with merchandising. We just came back from Smith and Edwards, and they have all of these endless aisles of like toys and small doodads.
She's never been there.
They have silicone egg shapers where you can pour the egg into it and then make it, and it comes in a shape.
Have you not been there? There's the rows of trinkets. You know,
I have never been to the new South Jordan location. It was really fun.
You've never been to either one. The telescoping wand with a magnet on the end. When's that going to come? Every day. You're going to need that for something. The dentist mirror.
And the cute little glass files, and you can't even think of what you'd use with, but
Like
they're so
big.
cute.
Yeah, they're
You
cute.
want them on principle because they're super cute. So yeah. Maybe you shouldn't take me back there anymore. That's dangerous.
And we were on a rush. We didn't even take our time. And the kitchen section is great, and the spices are great.
You know, so this news story is not cheering me up because remember last year when I went hiking and I almost stepped on that baby rattlesnake?
Rattlesnakes are on the rise,
And then 3 weeks
friends.
later, that I almost stepped on another rattlesnake and he kind of nailed my shoe. Unfortunately, when a lot of the roads are around here, like the streets up around the foothills, they'll stay on the street because it's warm after it gets dark and they kind of warm up. Except for, unfortunately, if you're running there, it's a problem.
This is an official announcement from the Department of Natural Resources Snake Division. I'm lying about that.
Do they have a snake division?
No, but
I want one. I want there to be one now.
This time of year, snakes are on the move, coming out of hibernation, looking for food, water, and romance. Which takes me to my one thing. Here's a quick tip: wear the correct footwear, something that will not be penetrated by a fang. Watch it when you step over logs, rocky areas, crevasses.
Streets.
It says crevasses.
Say crevasse again.
Crevasse.
I love that word.
They're protected under law, by the way. They're protected under law. You can't go, there's a snake, crush its head with a rock. You cannot do that.
Please don't do that. I hate people who do that.
They are protected only in the case where a human, a pet, or a child is in danger.
I like how you separate humans and children because really there's a significant difference.
Right. And which leads me to a story. They have people did construction, Red Butte Gardens, and they did higher up on the hillside. And we met these people.
That's the water conservation area now.
They were
garden.
masoners. They did masonry, and we said, "Hey, how many rattlers did you see?" And he goes, "We had names for that. They had names."
Oh, that's so sad.
And
We've seen them enough.
And the path that goes down to the water where the ducks is, it's an asphalt path, and on the side they have stacked red sandstone.
Which is perfect for little places where you can curl up if
not
you're
cemented.
A reptile.
Just dry stacked, and there's all these crevasses. And one time we were going down, and we saw one of the official people with their shirt on, says, Butte Gardens, and he was gave people back like this, just a little bit, like this. And
stand back.
We were like a bunch of kids were there, and we looked over like that, and there's 2 snakes going at it. The mom was trying to explain to their children what was going on.
It was a fairly low-key thing. It's not like it was weird. It was a low-key kind of... I felt sorrier for the snakes because I felt like they should have been given their privacy.
It didn't seem to matter.
Well, maybe they were totally embarrassed, but they just couldn't explain it because they're snakes.
They were having it, but anyway.
Move on.
Yeah.
So just number one, hungry, cranky, and totally, deprived. So this is not a snake in a good mood.
Should I ruin your day?
I don't think this is ruined. I think this video is to die for.
Yeah, unless you're swimming. Show them.
This is so creepy.
Oh, we're boating. Who wants to jump in the water with that rattlesnake?
Rattlesnakes can swim?
Yeah, they can.
I had no idea rattlesnakes could swim.
Yeah, they swim pretty good.
And he's swimming towards the boat.
Right. You just go swimming and come up with him on your head.
Rattlesnakes can swim?
Yes, they float. Is your day ruined now?
Can I see that again?
You want to show that again, Mike?
Are you serious?
Yeah. And the funny thing is...
I had no idea the rattle... Oh, my God.
Now, in the video, you can hear the engine, the boat engine. What you don't hear is the human reaction.
Screaming like a girl?
Which, in my case, would just be beeping noises.
I had no idea rattlesnakes could swim. Now I'm totally freaked out.
There's a
So
bunch
it's not even like you can flee into the lake to get away from the
No,
rattlesnake.
no, see,
the
that's the
rattlesnake's
point.
like, yeah, come on, try it.
That's the
Right.
point.
Do
Been
it.
watching all these videos of these guys in like places where iguanas live, Mexico and Iguanaville, and they're out on their kayaks, and here's this poor iguana, and he's like got caught in a current, and he's like 2 miles offshore, and so they paddle over, and the iguana's not stupid. It's like, I'm going for a ride, gets on top, the guy paddles for 2 miles until he's by cypress swamp.
Iguanas can swim?
Yeah. And all of a sudden he sees.
I have learned so much.
The iguana sees the trees, and then he dives off and does that. Of course, Guadalupe, what?
I just thought they could.
Guadalupe.
I thought they could float or.
What's the name of that island?
Like they had puffer. The Galapagos Islands.
Yeah, Galapagos.
Uh huh.
Those actually go and they dive underneath and they eat algae and seaweed off the rocks.
I want to go to the Galapagos Islands.
Don't they have those huge dragons that'll rip you in half?
The Komodos. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a good place.
Oh, I've been with a Komodo.
They don't swim though. So
we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea rattlesnakes can swim. That has like totally screwed up my whole day. I'm not joking. I had no freaking idea.
They could swim.
No, so there's essentially, unless I climb a tree, there's like nothing I can do. They're just going to get me.
Yeah.
I had no freaking idea.
That's why they were put here.
To get me?
Yes. This is interesting. Mark Shurtleff, he's the ex-AG for
Ex-Attorney General. You remember that was a very, very long case.
It was already 2 years ago.
Fraud and corruption. And then he was acquitted on all charges, though, right?
They dropped everything.
Now,
and so Mark Shurtleff decided, I'm going to sue everyone, and I want $60 million because everyone thought he was guilty because he was in court. The wife and the kids got traumatized. And it included
John Swallow as well.
Took everything he owned. He ran out of money. They said, bribery, corruption, stemming from his time in office and blah, 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 blah. And he also had medical bills when they saw the police raided their home, and all turns out for no apparent reason.
I'm amazed by this because this was a federal case. And I can't imagine the
Someone
feds...
couldn't let it go, yeah.
But you know what, though? I can't imagine the feds presenting a case as controversial as this without, like, a buttload of proof.
Having your stuff going.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that this would be, like, so airtight. Right. And he was acquitted on all charges.
Yeah, hospital costs, damages to income, reputation.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Yeah, and it just keeps going on and on.
And how much does he want?
$60 million. Sam Gill's mentioned in the case, too, though.
Interesting.
The FBI, some of their agents.
Given.
So there you go.
I can't blame him. I think the first thing he tried to do is he sued for, he petitioned to have the state pay his court costs.
Right,
his legal costs.
Yeah.
Because it was over $1 million, and he's like, you just did this to me, you have to pay that. And I guess that got overturned by the court. So I guess I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Right?
He floats too.
This is going to be a theme today, isn't it?
Everything floats.
All right. Well, Daisy floats too. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She's brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Make sure you tell them that Todd and Erin sent you. You're going to save thousands of dollars and weeks and weeks and weeks worth of your time. Brio Technologies. They are your experts in lighting, sound, and video. You cannot believe the media wall they just created for this new high school. It was unbelievable. You can rent, you can buy. They'll take care of everything. Just go to brioaudiovisual.com. And by New Millennium Financial Group. This is an amazing time to get everything put together while the economy is good. Let them get you started on a nice, solid retirement. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Friday, June 8th on GephartDaily.com. 2 men have been shot and 2 others are in custody after a Thursday morning incident police believe is gang-related. Police responded to the area on a call of shots fired near the Jordan River Parkway just after 9 a.m., then heard additional shots that led them to the area of 500 North Redwood Road. The victims, males believed to be in their late teens or early 20s, were found outside a residence. One was critically injured and the other was in fair condition, said SLCPD officials. The 2 were transported to a hospital. A serial bank robber dubbed the Double Hat Bandit for his preferred headwear has accepted a deal after pleading guilty to 18 robberies in Utah, Oregon, Colorado, Washington, Iowa, and Ohio. Shane Carson, 54, will be sentenced on August 15th in the Salt Lake City courtroom of U.S. District Judge Jill Parrish. Carson's plea deal stipulates that he must serve between 12 to 15 years in jail and pay restitution in an amount to be determined at sentencing. According to a statement from the Department of Justice District of Utah, Carson took between $834 and $8,377 in each of the robberies. And a 69-year-old man died after officials said he slipped into the water while trying to step from his boat at a Bear Lake dock this week. The man, identified as Robert B. Doman from Morgan County, was trying to exit his boat in the Rainbow Cove area, Bear Lake State Park officials said. Another visitor to the park heard a splash and cries for help, then saw the man face down in the water. That person retrieved Doman from the water and performed CPR until medical personnel arrived. Doman was pronounced dead at the scene. Time now for a look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialist, and also by Magic Wash, home of the high-tech, long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and Layton. This weekend is going to be a bit of a mishmash, with temps in the low 90s Friday, upper 90s Saturday, then Sunday drops some 20 degrees to the mid-70s. One thing is for certain, it's not likely to rain, either at the weekend or next week. That's it for now. For more news 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. I want to talk about New Millennium Financial. Now, what they're going to do is put all your stuff in order. They might say, hey, you need some more of this or whatever, 401ks, all this stuff. Picture this. Picture in your garage, okay? And your car front end is all taken apart. And you have all the new parts over here, but you have no idea how to put it all back together. These are the kind of people who walk in and say, okay, so what you need to do is you need to take this piece and put it here, this piece, put it here. Don't put that on yet. Wait. And then they show you how to rebuild and how to make your car complete again. That's what they're going to do with your finances. They have all the ways to line you up, so whether it's retirement or the equity in your home, what are you going to do with it? You got kids going to college, you straighten it all out. They'll put your life in order and make your money work for you. So give them a call and just talk to New Millennium Financial.
You can go to utahsfinancialplanner.com for more information. Okay, you ready for this? Because it's really cool.
Tell me something good.
Tell me something good. I need these stories this week. I don't know why, because there's been so many awful, sad ones that every time I hear one where a child is saved, it's like, thank you, I needed this. Chris Blazek, he's a firefighter, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Already good story.
Now, this week, you think it's been bad here.
Oh.
It has been a freaking nightmare. It has been a nightmare back east.
Why?
He's had 110 plus degree temperatures every day. He's a firefighter, so he's dealing with fire. And they had barely finished battling a house fire for 3 hours. This was last Saturday. He hopped into the shower, was like, oh, thank the good Lord. And then they got another call, emergency call, a pregnant mom, her 3 small kids in the backseat, car accident, pretty serious.
Okay.
Throws his filthy clothes back on, races out with the rest of the team, and found the mom was hysterical. She was in terrible pain, as you can imagine. 3 kids in the back. Now, the baby just could not stop crying. I mean, just, of course, she's terrified.
And mom's kind of involved with other stuff, with the other kids.
And you can see this little baby. She's just
injured,
and she's just hysterical. She couldn't stop. Now, this is why I love Chris Blazek. He's no stranger. In addition to being a 39-year-old dad, he's got 4 daughters of his own.
Right.
He graduated from the University of Tennessee with a degree in child and family studies.
There you go.
The guy knows a few things. So he checked over the baby to make sure she was okay. And the baby looked at the firefighter with his big old mustache face and put her head on his shoulder and went immediately to sleep.
Out. The baby whisperer.
Now you can see he's exhausted because he's just sort of slumped against the car like, I'm just going to sit here.
Yeah, right.
But he says, since the guys had the scene under control, I just thought I would sit and take a break with my new friend. She immediately fell asleep in my arms.
Nice.
Mom was transported. Engine 6 personnel stayed on scene with the children until they were turned over to family members.
Nice.
And his fellow firefighter snapped that shot of him, which was so sweet.
Very sweet.
Whitley Hightower is the baby's mom, and later she was able to go to the firehouse and to thank them personally. And she said, I want to thank you for being there for my 3 girls. God bless you. And he said, Mrs. Hightower, it was an honor and a privilege. Glad to know you and the kids are doing well.
Nice.
And even though it had been a couple of days since the baby had seen him, the baby was like,
no. Get out.
Some people, you're like that though. Kids are like that with you. You were
That's
like the kid
funny.
whisperer. Kids just are naturally attracted to you.
Because I don't put up with their crap. That's what. No, that's
So
not true.
the same thing apparently
do.
with Chris. But he says this is why I do the job.
All right. Coming up next, hey, let's go to the International House of Pancakes. I'm sorry, that doesn't exist anymore.
This is like the weirdest thing ever.
And it's coming up next.
We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stayfit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape. Feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily
Stream.
Streamy thingy.
Stream.
Yes.
Now,
Where are we?
explain this
Oh, here we
IHOP
go.
thing.
Oh, the IHOP.
And what do you mean it's changing its name? It's the International House of Pancakes.
Not anymore, mister.
It's been the International House of Pancakes for like 2,076 billion years.
IHOP is now IHOB. Small b.
IHOB, small b.
IHOB. Dot b.
International House of Bacon. Maybe they're getting into the bacon craze.
Butternut squash, barnacles, babies, boo.
What? Do we know anything about?
Branches.
Have they announced anything other than we're changing our name?
No, they're doing meant to do exactly what we're doing
Where
right
we're all
now.
perplexed and we're speculating madly?
Yeah, I don't think they should change it.
Oh, that's funny.
International House of Brunch. International House of Breakfast.
I think that's got to be it, don't you?
Barnacles is good.
I would go there just on principle because they named it after barnacles. I'd have to.
This is one poll with absolutely no scientific fact. 26 said biscuits, 41 said bacon, 6% butternut squash, and barnacles got 27%.
I would totally vote for barnacles. It's got to be for breakfast, but why the small b?
International House of... every time I go there, I'm so perplexed because there's too many syrups and I can't decide which.
There can never be enough syrups.
My friend says the service is slow because the floor is sticky.
That's entirely possible.
It's like,
But why
right there!
Why the small b?
Part of the mystery, my friend. Part of the mystery.
The sticky thing cracks me up because it's totally like yesterday. Zoe's school had their end of school carnival, and I was the fool that said, "Yeah, I'll do the shaved ice. I'll do the snow cones for the whole 3 hours." I actually had to take my flip-flops off and peel them off the pavement. And I came home and I was
Because of the
coated.
syrupy stuff.
I was coated in the 3 syrups because they're kids, and so all of them wanted all 3 of them. So you have to make it. And then I started getting bored, and I made the unicorn one, which was
Right.
still all of them but swirled.
Right.
And eventually, when I tried to leave, and I lied to them, and I said, "Well, you guys, it's like 8:30, and the thing closed at 8." And they turned off the power, and they're like, "No, it's not. We just saw you grinding ice." And they were like closing
We
in
want
on
the
me
last ice.
threateningly.
We want the last ice.
The last ice. Give me
It's
the
like
last
Children of the
ice.
Corn.
It was. I swear to God. I mean, they're very polite, but it's just that creepy way they close in on you. It was.
Last year, I helped as well and did some stuff, and I ended up going home first with the kids. And then Erin was doing the cotton candy. She came home.
At least I did not do cotton candy this year.
Her hair was everywhere.
I was crunching.
She was cotton candy-ized.
Well, here's the
It
problem.
wasn't
though.
too bad, actually.
I was
It's
covered
not-
in cotton candy, which you would think, well, at least it's delicious and you can
Right.
eat it off later. And then
Right.
we had a rainstorm.
Yeah. Into her hair it went.
So that pretty much cemented the
Yeah.
whole look for me.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, everyone came by and said, "Not doing the cotton candy this year." And I went, "Don't even talk
Shut
about
up.
the cotton candy anymore."
This is
Don't.
true. Okay, so lead paint. You have this story.
It's the Fixer Upper stars.
Which
Just
Fixer
cracked
Upper
me up.
stars?
Okay, it's Fixer Uppers, Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines.
Okay.
There they are.
They're there.
Look, they're all happy. They're in love. And
They're
this is actually
adorable.
very sweet. They've been on HGTV 5 seasons.
Yeah.
They just celebrated their 15th anniversary, and they're expecting their 5th kid, so that's sweet.
How do they have time to fix things up?
But it's pretty funny, though,
Go ahead.
because the thing that kind of cracked me up about it is they just got fined $40,000 over their improper handling of lead paints.
Back up. They did what? They were fined?
The improper handling
Right.
of lead paint. So you have to remember, eventually someone from the Environmental Protection Agency will be
Someone's
watching one of the
watching the
shows
show.
and go, well, that's the lead paint, and that's flying everywhere, and they didn't cover it, and that, eventually that will happen, and then they will probably review other episodes of your show where you had not handled lead paint properly. They got fined $40,000.
They're lucky it was, and think about this.
And the sad thing is they have to spend another $160,000 on a lead paint abatement program.
Right, and so abatement is a lot of different things, but now think of the other people on the staff that they exposed, the camera crew. The guy runs the boom mic.
Ooh,
he's the closest.
I would be ticked. I wouldn't even
And so,
wow.
And if you're living in an old house like we do, abatement, if you tear out all the wood and stuff, you're disturbing the lead paint, and so you have to seal off rooms, and there's hazmat, and there's airflow, and all this stuff. Some of the simpler ways is to paint it. If you paint over lead paint, that is a qualifying abatement to seal it in. But they're probably just ripping door jambs apart.
They're tearing everything apart, yeah.
And seriously, I can't...
$40,000 for a fine and $160,000 for the program.
I can't remember what the year was that
and the sad
lead paint stopped.
You know the sad thing, though?
76.
Is they just ended their 5-season run, so it's like they're off the air now.
Right.
And they're still... Yeah, I think it was the mid-'60s, I think, when lead paint, they finally went, hey, this is a problem.
Don't take our word for this. Look it up, because that's really important. It's really important.
That if you had bought a house before that era, then you really, really,
Yeah. I can't remember. Anyway, that's fine. They're off now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, there's other people on the crew.
That's going to be awkward. I'm surprised, though, given the fact that they had been in construction that long, that they hadn't...
Well,
had to adhere to those kind of practices.
They're not in there. They're a prop. They go in with a crowbar.
They're the personalities.
Knock one shelf down, and then get out of the way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
What about the people who cleaned up the site? Holy mackerel! This is horrible.
Let's go back to some happy news, because I talked to you last week about that adorable NBA star from
Before
Arizona.
you do that, would you please do the Christopher Winner?
I was going to do it at the end, investment.
Let's do that
more
then.
Comprehensive.
So. And I'm going to tell you what I think about this story. And it is a nice story.
But remember, there was the NBA player who saved this woman who was about to lose her flight because she had to go pay with a credit card for her baggage fee.
Right.
He just whipped out the money and said, here.
$50.
And he said, oh, no, pass it on. It's okay. Real sweet.
They're nice. Here's another one. It's Packers, Aaron Jones. And he was on a flight, and he noticed when he was getting up that there was an elderly woman. She had a cane, and she was dragging all her furniture.
Oh, all of her little bags and stuff.
He said he looked around. She goes, well, they're sending someone down for me. And he looked over, and he saw the wheelchair was folded up and against the corner down by the plane. And he said, well, you know what? Let's go. And he jumped her in. He also has a bag, and on it is a tag. And she said, do you play for the Packers? And he said, yes, ma'am, I do. And her husband was a huge fan.
I'm so in love with this man right now. Look at him, this big, gigantic guy, and he's wheeling this little fragile lady. That was the most adorable picture.
And he didn't know until it came up on the
that
internet.
Someone had taken a picture.
A lot of people had taken the pictures, and they recognized him, so they tagged him, and everybody found out.
And he said something really sweet, though. They were like asking him, why did you do that? Or you're a big star, or whatever.
And he said,
I was just doing what anybody else would do.
Hence my point. But good example.
Well,
good example.
This is something that you've done so many times in airports that it's a miracle we've ever made a plane on time, and I have loved you even more every time you do it.
It's my favorite thing.
There's always like some sweet Navy wife who's pregnant and she's got a baby too and like a boatload of luggage because she's trying to get to the new base or whatever.
And she's in the wrong
and it's
concourse.
Usually young and
she's in the wrong concourse, and I'm like, this is oh my God, and you gotta go, and you can't run. You got little kids. And anyway, I still think it's fun. It's really fun. It's like, get her to someone else, hand her off to the security people.
But you've done that with people who casts on their legs. You did it with that sweet old gentleman who had a heart condition. You were wonderful.
I've done so many bad things in my life. I'm trying to squeak into heaven. I'm going to go around the back, and hopefully there's a loose bar, the golden thing. And I'm going to wiggle my through, so I have to lose weight before I die, so I can get to the bars. This other nice stuff is just a decoy.
All right, we're a little bit askew today, so I just wanted to do a couple of quick things, if this is okay, Mike. Number one, Christopher's. I am so sorry we forgot this, and I have no idea why, because it's my favorite thing of the week to award a winner for Christopher's dinner at Prime Steakhouse. So, Cassandra Givens, congratulations, my sweetheart. You and 3 of your favorite people get to go to Christopher's and have an amazing dinner. It is going to be absolutely the best meal you've had in your life. And if you would also like to enter to win for Christopher's dinner, I don't care when you're watching the show, because we always give these away, just share the show. That's all you need to do. We pick through the shares, we grab one, and that's our winner for the week. So thank you so much, and congratulations. Have a wonderful time.
All right.
And I also want to tell you really quickly about
Please do.
Papillon. Papillon is an amazing recovery center, and it's been a really big thing because they did a ton of study, and they were trying to figure out why so many people kept falling back, the recidivism rate, and how
Right.
people couldn't stay clean. And they completely revamped their program once they had talked to the people who made it, the people who didn't, and they started an entire after-treatment coaching program, because they said, when you're in there, that's one thing, you can do this. They said it's afterwards when maybe you don't have a support system, or maybe you don't have the same friends, or all those things come back to you. And if you go to papillonirc.com, that's papillonirc.com, take a look at the program. They accept most insurances. They're here to help your family. They're here for family support. But just the difference in having someone who understands the real challenge of afterwards is what makes their program so amazing. So it's papillonirc.com.
All right, so coming up next, Hollywood Connection, season of 13 Reasons Why. Mm-hmm. We'll tell you what's going on with it.
We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish. Welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. It is the Hollywood Connection, brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. They have a $39 air conditioning special right now where they can tune up your air conditioner, make everything work so you save money on your energy bills. $39. That's $20 cheaper than everybody else. That's the Connect Heating and ConnectHeatingandCooling.com.
All right, so 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
First of all, set up the show.
All right, Netflix. I think every parent probably has heard about this with like a cold spike of fear going down your back, but 13 Reasons Why is based essentially the story of a teen girl's suicide and how the family, friends, and acquaintances react to her suicide. And then they found out that they find out through a series of tapes that she's left the reasons, people who have harmed her, people who have hurt her, or this
Okay,
or that.
all right.
And it goes through. So there was a lot of anxiety, and there was some speculation that it was increasing teen suicide during the first season on Netflix.
Oh, no, it was huge. People
Yeah.
were,
Real
all
issues.
over it.
And then they did a second season. And you're like, really? How many more reasons can there be?
Right.
And mental health specialists and parents, once again, please make sure if you're letting your kids see this, talk to them.
Right.
Oh, they just ordered a third season.
Okay, so
I get the feeling.
is this against better judgment by health officials, or is there some educational part to this? Because I haven't watched it. It sounds horrifyingly scary.
I
have it there.
watched an episode, and that was all I could take. And I understand what they're doing,
Right.
and it's extraordinarily well written. It's very well acted,
Mm-hmm.
but
Does it glamorize it?
I think so.
Because that's your worry, isn't it?
Well, see, but here's the thing. This is what everyone pictures when you commit suicide. Everyone's going to miss me, and especially when you're a young person.
Yeah.
And your vision of drama and your vision of everyone's going to be sorry now. Everyone's
Right.
going to be so sorry they did this. And
Right.
this basically reinforces that, yeah, everyone's going to suffer horribly, and they'll get what they deserve, or...
Yeah, that's one way it goes, but there's also the other way, which is
I just can't take it.
Robin Williams. He didn't care. He didn't care, and I know you think it's selfish, because we've talked about this before, is that you're going to decimate all these people who love you and stuff. But when you're at that low point...
And I do understand. I'm just saying, but for kids who are considering it, those are the elements that do go through their minds.
Right.
It's just, you're young and you're dramatic, you're heartbroken, you're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so it really, I would be lying if I said I didn't think it encouraged it.
Okay.
But yeah, third season, and it's back to that thing of it was a huge success, and they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so
I haven't heard that much about it. This is the first time I've heard about it in a year or so.
Well, I remember when they put out a season, you blaze through the whole season all at once, and
Right.
so it may cut down on the conversation
Right.
afterwards. So I guess, I don't know. If you love it, congratulations. You got another season out of us. You're doing good.
All right, coming up after information, Apple doesn't want your business anymore. Take that phone and don't do anything with it. But first, it's time for national headlines.
Yeah, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She's brought to you by New Millennium Group. This is a really good time to see what's going on with your retirement, or maybe even if you have one, you can ask all the right questions at utahsfinancialplanner.com. Also, by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Look, if you've got a chronic problem like fibromyalgia or all of the other miserable ones, this is the doctor who can change that for you, and he can give you whole body fitness and get rid of all your chronic miseries. Go to stayfitwellnessclinic.com for more information. And also, by Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Look, you can't believe how many options you have, and it can cost thousands of dollars less and so many weeks less time than you can possibly imagine. And tell them that Todd and Erin sent you. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making news in the US and around the world Friday, June 8th on GephartDaily.com. The International Space Station's newest crew members are en route to their new home. The trio of astronauts was successfully launched into space from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan at 7:12 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday, 5:12 p.m. local time. The Soyuz capsule was scheduled to arrive at the space station at 9:07 a.m. Friday. In the meantime, the three space travelers will circle Earth at an ever-increasing distance. The crew will orbit Earth 34 times before the spacecraft's arrival and docking, NASA announced in an update. NASA TV will feature live streaming coverage of the docking process, as well as the hatch opening and welcoming process. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers arrested 114 suspected undocumented immigrants at an Ohio gardening business this week. About 150 Homeland Security Special Agents, U.S. Border Patrol agents, and members of the IRS acted on 2 federal search warrants to raid 2 Corso's Flower and Garden Center locations in Sandusky and Castilia as part of one of the largest workplace raids in a decade. Homeland Security in Ohio received tips about undocumented immigrants working at the business throughout the last 10 years and conducted an audit inspection within the last 6 months. And Jerry Marin, the actor who played a member of the Lollipop Guild in The Wizard of Oz and was the last surviving adult munchkin from the classic film, has died at the age of 98. Marin died last month, his niece and nephew reported in separate Facebook posts. He had been living at an assisted care facility in San Diego. Marin appeared in the 1939 movie as one of the 3 Lollipop Guild munchkins who handed a lollipop to Dorothy, played by Judy Garland. There were 124 adult actors who portrayed munchkins in the film. Time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the high-tech, long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and in Layton. This weekend is going to be a bit of a mixture, with temps in the low 90s Friday, upper 90s Saturday. Sunday drops some 20 degrees to the mid-70s. There's no rain in the forecast, and just a warning, Saturday in St. George is going to hit 102. So slather on the sunscreen and stay hydrated. For more news 24/7, check out GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy.
All right, this is kind of an interesting thing that I wanted.
Stay Fit Wellness.
Do you want to go to Stay Fit first?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you want.
Let's do Stay Fit Wellness first. This is pretty cool because Stay Fit, I finally got my appointment yesterday with Dr. Bowden, and it was really interesting because they go through a lot of different things, body mass index, fat ratio, which I've got probably about 10 pounds
How'd
more
that
to
go?
lose. You know, I'm okay with it.
Are you?
Because they were great, and they went
Yeah.
through everything with me, and he gave me some ideas. And the cool thing is that he doesn't just go, you got to eat better. He has this like gigantic binder, and he customizes it to you.
Right.
And he has it's like different diet things you've got to do. He tells you about different foods.
You said acidity, too, and
Yeah,
alkaline?
Alkaline, yeah. The balance in your body, how it relates to cancer or some of the other, hereditary issues. And then the thing that I thought was the coolest is he was telling me about the chronic symptoms. And the ones like fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, or the ones that I think you start becoming incredibly depressed, and
Right.
and you're in pain all the time, and it's like you don't think it's going to get better.
It ruins your life.
And this is the one thing he said, yeah, you can do physical therapy, but you have to change the whole body to make everything go away. And that's like his expertise. This is his thing. But it was so inspiring listening to him and talking about the people whose lives he's changed, because by the time you come to Stay Fit, you're like, I need something I'm not getting anywhere else. And then he fixes the problem.
Nice.
Look, you can go to stayfitwellnessclinic.com for a free consultation. It's going to change everything, believe me.
Do you notice, and if you felt doing our podcast over the last month or so, that there's more programs to help more people in different situations?
Mm-hmm. I think it's wonderful, isn't it?
It's like
I know.
we've done stories about smuggling kids. We've done stories about suicide. We've done stories about all these different things in these customized programs.
Even something as simple as like the new urban biking lessons, teaching you how to bike in a city. I mean, it's
Food resources for the kids who only get the meals at school and school's out, and those different locations. By the way, if you're looking for information on that, most every school district runs this.
I actually have that. It's very, very easy. We've got the complete list. If you just go to our free or cheap family fun group on Todd and Erin page, we've got them all listed there, as well as all the free reading programs and free films.
But now there's a new one.
Yes, there is. This is a big one. Sexual assault survivors have already gone through so much, and it's so unimaginable that you think just fix it and get going. And so
Right.
once you do the rape kit, and it's very emotional, you're waiting for the police to go through the system and,
Right.
and get this done.
Right.
And you have to call in and ask questions. And for a lot of survivors, that's like, you don't
Reliving
wanna-
it,
You
yeah.
don't want to call in it. You don't want to go
Right.
through that.
Right.
And after 8 years, Allison Asenko found out that her rape kit had not been sent to Utah's crime lab yet. And she was just overwhelmed. She said, I didn't want to talk to anybody about it. I didn't want to, but she says, I kept wondering why there weren't charges filed
Right,
or
right.
anything was done. And she said it was incredibly intimidating. And she said, having a resource that I could have checked on my own time would have made all the difference.
Like what?
And this is what they did, which
Okay.
I am so happy. Public safety managers announced a new tool that's going to help, I guess, make it better. Because we know there's been a fairly big controversy in Salt Lake City because they found out so many of the rape kits
Right.
had not been tested. They hadn't been sent out,
Which allows a rapist to continue,
which is the most appalling
which
thing.
is, yeah,
The survivor doesn't get justice, and the rapist.
is out there.
Yeah, so it's very, very cool. It's a site where once you have put in your rape kit, you can go in and you can check the progress, and you can see where it's been sent
okay.
to the laboratory. You can
No
see,
names, you just know your
yeah,
number.
your numbers,
Okay,
yeah. And then you can find out maybe about DNA analysis. Then you can find out if they pulled up suspects. They said,
Right.
It's interesting, Lauren DeVries is a victim advocate, and she said, it's really empowering, and it can help you in healing because you get to track this. You don't feel
Right.
helpless like you're just sitting here waiting for someone to
Right.
call you and tell you if anything's happened. And I think I like it especially because I think there's a lot of accountability now for law enforcement. You got to get this done. You've got people now who are waiting and watching and can see
Right.
what's happening with their thing.
Can you imagine how different this is from 15 years ago? And you've just gone through this horrible thing, and you go to the hospital, and I'm sure it was clumsy. It was like, yeah, whatever, like this. And now, when you are received at the hospital, they have a procedure. They know you're going to come in, you're going to be traumatized. They take care of you knowing that, as opposed to just another person.
I think it's wonderful.
And that involves the policemen who handle, the
No,
situation.
people who are
to get
in
you
the
there.
SVU units are amazing.
Yeah,
They are,
yeah.
and they're always understaffed and
Right.
crowded, and we know that. But I love this concept, though, that it gives you some privacy, but it gives you a chance to kind of own your progress.
Right.
I think that's very cool.
All right, so coming up next, Apple wants you to throw your phone away. Flush it down the toilet.
Kind of.
Get
Yeah.
rid of it.
That.
Never talk to it again. Next.
We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com for their $39 air conditioner tune-up special. Some care now could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with New Millennium Financial Group. They're offering a complimentary financial analysis to get you started at UtahsFinancialPlanner.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to talk about Pappy on IRC. We've got a bunch of messages on Facebook about this, and unfortunately, addiction of any kind has affected so many families. And if it's not you and your family, it's a cousin or a friend, or there's someone in their family who has a hard time. And a lot of times the 12-step program doesn't work. There's lots of different programs that work great, and it works great for someone, but there's some people that it doesn't. And if you've ever been in a situation where you're trying to help someone, but you don't have the skills to do it, and they go back into rehab, and they come out and they falter again, and they go back to rehab. I know people who went down 8 times and finally made it. Well, Papillon decided that there must be a better way, and so what they're doing is treating the whole situation, why this is happening, what your weaknesses are, where are you going, what's triggering your need to do this again. And it's really involved, and they're experts at doing this. So if you want to try something different, pass that information on to someone and see if they can go down there and it can make a difference. Go talk to them. Just talk to them and see how that goes. It's Papillon IRC.
Okay, now this Apple thing, when I saw this presentation...
Give me your phone. Now throw it away.
No,
to see this
throw
phone?
yours.
Throw it away. Look at that.
Throw it your own.
So basically, this goes against every business model.
And the presentation, when they did this at the tech conference, this guy from Apple's like super happy. He's like, this is so great. You're going to love this.
And the crowd is like, here's the deal.
It was adorable.
They just put out their new, it's putting out their new software. Mm-hmm. It sets limits on the use of your smartphone. It sets reminders of perhaps
You've spent a lot of time today.
How much time you've spent on this.
You know, I don't need anyone else chiding me about my social media issues. I've already been chided plenty. Take your chastisement and remove it from me, Apple. But to explain what happens.
Well, if you want to, number one, you want to find out where you spend most of your time, and maybe, a lot of people, it just kind of flies by. Go to your battery usage. Go to where the battery usage is, and it says 26% Facebook, 10% this. It'll list out where you've spent the battery power.
That's amazing.
This does it for you. It's kind of interesting. It's going to come out, and the nice thing is it's going to track where you've been. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, no.
Well, I think for a lot of people, you would be surprised. Like, when I finally realized how much time I was spending on Pokemon Go, I gave it up. You have noticed that, haven't you?
It's just been replaced.
With what?
But think about for kids. Now you can monitor them. You can find out.
And then you can find out how long they've been on Fortnite for the last 2 days, which is probably 12 hours
You
each.
can talk about where they went for that length of time. What they were in contact with and stuff like that. It's called Moment. And it's already got 5.5 users.
5.5
million.
Okay.
Not 5 people. That'd be ridiculous.
5.5 million users. Wow.
And I think it's great. The adolescents, they're like on the phone constantly.
Here's the part I don't like about it, though, and this is where the guy was super happy when he was doing the presentation. It tracks through all your apps and everything and finds out what you use, and then it will set limits for you. And then if you're trying to use the app, like if you're on Twitter, it'll go, hey, you've been on Twitter for like 25 minutes.
So it's reminding you of something.
And it will start and it'll actually knock you off.
No, it won't knock you off.
If you assign it to.
Yeah, okay.
If you assign it to, it will knock you off. So essentially, you're making your own phone your own nanny.
Right.
And it's like, and all I can picture is me just sitting here with my phone going, you can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me. I
love it when she uses that voice at home. So good. Among the most prominent of those studies that they've done on phone addiction, the most recent has found a correlation between heavy phone use and relationship troubles. Another one said the increase in usage and popularity of smart devices has become a pressure from interest groups and concerns raised by surveys that draw a correlation between too much screen time and depression, anxiety, lower life satisfaction, and less satisfaction with relationships.
Was any of that indicated in a pointed fashion towards me?
Of course not. All right, I think I would like to end this Friday by once again reminding you and scaring the boogers out of you. First of all, have yourselves a great week, and we're going to see you Monday. Share the show so we can do the Christopher's giveaway. Here's the funny part about this video. You don't know what lake it's in.
I would just like to go with this final reminder. Rattlesnakes can swim.
Here, show them. We'll see you guys.
Rattlesnakes can swim.
Yeah.
I didn't know that till now.
I think it's funny that